What up? It's your boy Dick Incredible Man, and this is 911 Season 5, Episode 16, discussion/review, titled Mayday. And there definitely was some troubles, man. Let's talk about it.
I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'ma be fine.
First off, let me start by saying, best episode thus far. I don't care what anybody says, man. Out of season 5, this is by far the best episode in my opinion. Now, not to knock like the premiere, like the premiere always comes hard, with a major catastrophe or whatever, but this episode was hands down, in my opinion, the best episode. There was so much going on. I feel like 911 had got a little stagnant a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And 911 Lone Star was kind of edging it out just a little bit for me. But this episode, 911 came hardcore, man. They hit home runs out of the park on multiple occasions this episode. And I am here for every bit of it, man. First of all, we see that May and Claudette got into it. They were arguing because May gave Claudette some information and Claudette was like, no. Now's not the time for this. And then she was like, and she took that same said information and used it to help the police officer catch this offender. But I get where Claudette was coming from and I get where May was coming from, because May she didn't want the recognition, but then she did want the recognition. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted to be acknowledged more so than anything. And Claudette wasn't acknowledging her. And Claudette used her information, you know what I'm saying? And then it's this heated rivalry between the two. But within this episode, we see Sue sent them down to the quiet room to have a little conversation with each other, and they had to hash it out, and it got real. We see Claudette kind of telling May what it was for her, and we hear May telling Claudette, why she feels like this and everything like that. And Claudette kind of gave her some valuable information about, hey, you should go to college. You shouldn't sacrifice for this job. Like, this job takes a lot of stuff and you shouldn't have to go through that. Go to college, make some of yourself, learn some things, explore some stuff. You know what I'm saying? She gave her that vital information. We get to see that moment where they kind of understand each other a little bit and see where each one of them is coming from. And a little Easter egg for you guys if you did not know. New Jack City was a movie with Wesley Snipes and it came out in the 90s, but Claudette just so happens to be in that movie, and she said one of her famous lines from that movie in this episode, which is "Rockabye baby." And if you haven't seen New Jack City, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a very good movie. I actually really love it. It's a gangster movie, crime boss and everything like that. It's definitely a pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it, I think you should definitely check it out. But if that's not your cup of tea, don't worry about it. But New Jack City is a good movie, man, and she stars in that movie. But this episode, it just hit home for me on so many levels, man. And we see Claudette and May kind of reconcile a little bit, and we see that May is trying to console Claudette when they figure out that there's a fire in the building, and we learn that Claudette doesn't like fire, and we see that she has the burns on her back and just so much stuff that's going on. She's panicking, and May's trying to console her, and she's freaking out like a lot. But also, we get to see May console her and help her through this trial that she's dealing with. And at the end of the episode, we see that Claudette didn't make it, and May feels some type of way now. So I was thinking that May probably would have went to college, but I feel like she may not now, because she wants to kind of just live on and maybe do the 911 thing for Claudette. But we'll just have to wait and see. But with the whole thing with Claudette dying, Hen didn't like Jonah, aka Monday, and I was perturbed. Maybe it was because she thought he was trying to replace Chimney or something like that. But I'm starting to get a sense, and especially with everything that happened at the end of the episode, did Jonah kill Claudette on purpose? Does Jonah run around and just kill patients all willy-nilly? Because Hen mentioned that she doesn't like him, and then her wife told her that hey, well, there was a reason why you didn't like this dude. Your hunches are pretty much in point, and Jonah could be running around killing patients. Oh crap! If so, man, that's a lot to take in. But anyway, man, this episode was great. There was so much going on, man. We have Eddie becoming a firefighter again. Now, I don't know if it's going to stick, but I'm hoping so, man, because he came into his own. We see him coming into his own, and Eddie was on a roll this episode, man. He's busting down glass. He's saving people. He's touching doors and feel the heat. You know what I'm saying? And him and Buck, they're teaming up again, and they're saving the dude that caused the fire. I can't remember his name. Clayson, whatever his name is. Anyway, they saved him, and like they were having this banter going back and forth. Dude, Buck and Eddie are back, man, and I am here for it. It was good to see Eddie back in the saddle, man. And then we get to see Chimney and Albert, teaming up to save, other people and everything, venting the roof. When they said that they wanted Chimney and Albert to vent the roof, I knew it was going to go back to the part where, Chimney lost his best friend on the roof when they were venting the roof. He pushed Chimney out of the way. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't figure anybody would die, but I just knew they would kind of just bring it back up. And we see Albert kind of struggling a little bit this episode with him maybe not wanting to be a firefighter. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't want to let Chimney down. And after almost dying, Chimney gave him, an out. He was like, well, if this isn't for you, you don't have to do it. I just want you to be happy doing whatever you love at 100%, man. So that's huge big ups for Chimney and Albert. But I'm kind of going to be sad that Albert's not going to be a firefighter. I actually liked him being a firefighter. But it was nice to see their brotherly love, man. And we see that Buck may be having some kind of feelings when it comes to Lucy, because the whole family aspect, I don't know. Then we see that Lucy kind of tries to console Buck a little bit, but Taylor sees it. Like, I don't know. They're putting some stuff out there, and I'm not liking it because Buck and Taylor was in a good place. Don't be putting Lucy in the middle of this, man. Buck and Taylor was in a good place. But we see that Taylor confronts Lucy at the end of the episode and telling her that, hey, I don't need you coming in here messing things up for Buck, okay? Because he treats the 118 like family. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you hear me? And then she was like, well, ain't she a little peach? But I like Lucy. I really like her character, but I don't want her messing things up for Buck and Taylor. Now, if Buck and Taylor just kind of fizzled out on their own, I'm okay with that. I don't want it to happen, but I'd be okay with it. And then him and Lucy kind of do something, but you don't be the reason that Buck and Taylor kind of fizzle out. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like her messing up things, man. And then we see that Bobby this episode, man. Bobby was the GOAT this episode. We knew that this episode was going to be a little troubling for him when we found out that the fire took place in the dispatch center and May was still trapped in there, because we knew at the beginning of the episode we see them having that father-daughter bond and Athena telling him, no, you don't go down there to the call center and call things up, Papa Bear, okay? And then we see that, with May being trapped, I'm pretty sure that was traumatic for Bobby about his own family being trapped in a fire, and he was doing everything he can to save May, man. And they made it out, but then the building started to crumble on top of him, and then the whole 118 came in there and saved him, man. Dude, like I shed tears, man. I really did. Like, I didn't think they were dead, but like I was skeptical. I was worried that somebody would like be super hurt. I didn't think nobody would die, but I figured somebody would be super hurt, man. And then she was like, well, can I go to the hospital with him once they saved him? And it was like, because he's my dad. And Bobby was like, you didn't have to lie. But she was like, no, it's the truth. I have two dads, and you are one of them. The episode was great. I don't care what anybody says. Best episode of season 5, in my opinion, man. This is your boy Nick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out.
All out, and I am here to stay right now, so don't call